Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara, and welcome back to this Graveyard Project Pan update. I figured I would sort of get in the mood for the update because it's sort of strange. This project begins usually in May and it concludes at the very beginning of November because it's sort of Halloween, fall themed, but because it begins in like spring, you know, there's just a seasonal vibe to it that doesn't necessarily match the seasons that it falls over. Anyways, I've got my dark lips on and I've got this sort of burgundy top that this is my first time wearing it. I'm very excited. I got it at this amazing thrift store called Crossroads in West Hollywood in LA. I wish we had it here in Toronto. It's like a step up from Plato's. I am not quite ready for the fall, but I have just accepted that it is now fall time and it works well with this project. So basically it was started by Emily and Max, who I will link below, and the goal is to use up your oldest products, or at least to get some use out of your older products. And of course that is music to my ears because I have a lot of old makeup that I have trouble using up or decluttering for whatever reason. I just end up holding on to everything, even if I don't use it. So this project is perfect for forcing me to confront those oldest products. And I'm only doing 8 products rather than 10 because it just felt like a more manageable number. But you can really, you know, do this however you want. This is just sort of in the spirit of the Graveyard Project Pan. Let's just get into it and talk about the progress I've made. I am not quite as successful with this project as I am with my regular Project Pan series because that goes the full year, so I have more time to work on them. This time, because it is only about half a year, it's simply harder to use up products in that period of time. But I'm gonna try. So, first product is this Nars Lippy. Now, I have had a real focus on lip products this year. That's sort of what I'm working on decluttering from my collection or panning. I have a whole lipstick project pan, which I will link here. But this is from Nars. Oh, I gotta sharpen it. That's great news. I should probably actually go do this because that means it'll get a little bit shorter. But this I really, really like on the lips. However, it does have a slight scent now. Yeah, a little bit, which is weird because it came as a 2-pack with a red one and the red one has no scent. So I'm just trying to use this up before it completely expires, but I do really like it on the lips. It's like a nice pinky nude shade. It doesn't stay on super well, but that's okay because it just means you sort of, you know, reapply it. The first month I got a lot of use out of this. I just sort of put it in my bag and brought it everywhere with me, but because it's not one of my favorite products, on like special occasions, it's not my go-to. And so because I had 2 trips in August, I didn't bring it with me on those trips. So I haven't reached for this very much, unfortunately. But I do think that I track this somewhere. So let's figure out where that was. Here we go. Okay. Yes, we've got a little bit of progress, but I think I'm going to sharpen it first to be more honest about where this actually should be. Okay, I gave it a good sharpen. It's not as pointy as it could be, but you know, I sharpened a lot of it. You can see this nice little tent. And now let's track it for real. Nars Rakujian. Okay, so we've got about 2 millimeters, I would say, of progress, which, I mean, 2 millimeters sounds like nothing, but for a lip product, when I'm working on a million lip products at once, I would say that's pretty good. So I'm happy with my progress on that, and I'm gonna keep it until the end of the project. I don't know if I think I will be able to finish this up in just 2 short months, but I'm gonna try my best. I have TIFF, the film festival, coming up this week, and I think this is a good go-to to have in my bag. I have a couple products like this, like the MAC Patisserie lip product as well. These are sort of the same color, and so these are good to just like have in my bag to reapply throughout the day. So hopefully I'll get a lot of use out of this out of the next 2 weeks. The next one is probably my most used product out of all of the ones I'm talking about today, which is a real surprise to me. This is the NYX Stick Blush in Tea Rose. Some products, you know, you just have a real journey with them. At first you love them and then you stop using them, you really don't like them, and then you realize you love them again. I don't know why, but I've had this for ages and ages, but again, no change in consistency or scent. I think I used this a lot the last little while, although I don't know if I tracked it. So we will have to go off of pictures to see if there's a difference, but you can see that it's really down in there. This was actually my favorite blush to use over the summer, like even more than my Glossier Cloud Paint. This one won out somehow. I will insert a picture here. This was just so nice as like a natural looking color, like so nice on my skin tone, stayed on super well, texture was lovely. I just love the color on me, and this had been neglected for so long that I don't know why I stopped liking it. It's so strange how we go through those phases, but I love it again. I don't know if I'll be using this as much in the fall because it is a cream blush, but I'm really happy to have had this in my Graveyard Project pan for the last little while, because I don't know if I would have, realized I loved it again if not for that. So this has been a favorite of the summer for sure. The next one, I have a successful rollout, which is great. This is the Colourpop eyeshadow Super Shock in Paradox, and this has been haunting my project pans, Graveyard Project pans, eyeshadow project pans for a long time, but it's just time to go because it's dried up. It really has. I was trying to get myself to use it for a long time, but there's just no point because it's so dried up, and because of that I don't end up reaching for it. So I used it one last time and then I said, okay, that's it. It's time to go. These last 2 months had been my last chance. That's what I told myself in the last Graveyard Project pan update. I was like, this is my last time to use it, so gotta make a decision either way. And I decided it's time to go. So I'm really glad to say that that is finally leaving my collection. This is not quite as old as my other products, but you'd think it's older because of how quickly it dried out, but it's just these Super Shock shadows. I know they don't last very long. The next one is an eyeliner. This is double-ended, but I was really only focusing on the one side, and unfortunately I did not make much progress over the last 2 months because it's really tough to use. So basically I can't sharpen it anymore. Like, this part is not sharpenable, so I just have to use up the product that is there, which is really smudgy, and because it's so black, I'm not going to put this like all over my lid, which would be the easiest to get it used up, but I don't wear like smoky eyes like that, So it basically meant just like, smudging this along the lash line and then using a different liner that was more precise or sharp to do the rest of the line. It's tricky. I could just say that this is done because I'm not going to use the other side. It's purple. Maybe I'll try it one more time or something. But I really, these is really good quality liners, so I want to like use up the black while I have it, but it's tough. And I obviously did not bring this on my trips because I was bringing different liners. But yeah, this I better call empty for the next update. We've got another eyeshadow. This is actually an eyeshadow palette, and I didn't have specific goals for this. I just wanted to get some more use out of it because I love it. This is the Urban Decay Naked Heat, and you can see this is a perfect fall palette. I am wearing a little bit of this on my eyes today, but over the summer, I did reach for it, but I really only reached for these 4 sort of brownie neutral shades. This is great as like a mixer with other shades because, I can put like a shimmer on the lid, like a pinky shimmer or a gold shimmer, and then just use the browns in like the outer part, or use this 1 ounce as like a brow bone highlight. I really like the shimmers in this, but I do find that they're a little bit dark for me. So just to show you, like, that is a lot to put all over the lid. If I put that on, it basically makes it like a dark smoky eye, which I like, but is not very everyday. So I really enjoyed using this. I think I also will enjoy using it in the fall, so I'll keep it in probably until the end of this Graveyard Project pan, and then I will move on to something else. I'm not tired of it yet. I'm happy to still have it out and in my regular makeup use, but it will be nice to like have something else in my daily makeup bag. It's such a beautiful shade. Like, look at that. So nice. Okay, the next one is a lip product that I have not been using as a lip product. This is a real theme. If you've been watching my videos lately, I talk a lot about using lip products as blushes because some of my lip products, I just don't love the shade on my lips, but I like it on my cheeks. And this is one of them. This is the Bite lipstick in Glacé, and that's all I've got left, which seems like a lot less than I did last time, but I did measure it, so let's track it. Nice. Okay, so you know, I have made some progress, not a ton. I didn't bring this with me on my trips, and as you can tell, that's where I got like the majority of progress, but I still have a couple millimeters of progress. So you can see that there. And because that's as much progress as I made last time, and there's really only maybe 4 millimeters left, I think it might be possible to finish this by the end of this Graveyard Project pan, or at least by the end of the year. What do you think? This gets used up a lot faster as blush than as lip product anyways, so fingers crossed that I can get this one out. It does have a little bit of a scent too, so that is also part of my motivation. I realized belatedly that I actually did track this NYX cream blush, but I made no progress on it. Like literally look at that, which is crazy because I feel like I use this so much. Like this was probably the blush that I used the most over the past 2 months, and yet no progress. I think I've been spoiled by these types of blushes because it's a lot smaller, so you can see the progress quicker, whereas this is obviously a lot bigger and chunkier, a lot of color payoff, and so it takes forever to use up. But that's okay because I actually had the realization today that I don't want to finish this because I like it so much. So good, because it'll be sticking around a lot longer, clearly. The next product we've got is a body oil, and I have decided that this will be decluttered by the end of the year. There's no way I'm gonna finish this in time. It doesn't smell good anymore. You know, you keep your products too long when a literal oil expires. Bit questionable, but people had a lot of suggestions for ways that I should use this, and they were all good suggestions, but the issue with this is that like it does rub in to some extent, it does absorb, but not fully. And so when I put this on my legs, I just sort of have this like oily sensation that if I'm sitting by the desk, it will rub off a little bit on the desk. And so I obviously don't want to like sit on any fabric chairs where I'll get the fabric all oily. I suppose I could put on like pajama pants or something, but then I feel like my pants would get gross on the inside if I do that all the time. So yeah, this is really difficult to use. I am happy that I'm forcing myself to use it because otherwise I would not. And I actually have a really nice body oil waiting to be used that I got fairly recently, and I know that that could have the same fate as this one, but I'm intentionally deciding to declutter this soon so that I can actually use that one up while it's still good. But yeah, hopefully I will have made some progress on this. I can compare the pictures after because I have been using it, just, you know, not that much. I really don't like this. We've only got 2 products left, and the next one, I unfortunately don't have very good news. I was hoping you guys would have some suggestions on how to use this up, and you did have some suggestions, but they were mostly that I should pour it into a different spray bottle and use it that way, which is a great suggestion. However, I do not have any spare spray bottles. I have the Urban Decay setting spray, but that is not nearly finished, so I'm not gonna dump that out right now. I have nothing else to pour this in. The issue, as I mentioned last time, is that it sprays in a straight line. You couldn't see that, but it smells nice, but it's not a setting spray. There's something messed up with this cap. Actually, I think someone suggested that I like run it under hot water to see if it's clogged. I don't think that's the issue, but I did forget to do that. So I'm gonna try that later and see if that works. But for now, I think how I'm gonna use it is spray it on my hands like that, and then just sort of pat it onto my face as like a toner. Whatever, I can't think of any other ways to use it. So thank you for your suggestions. If you have any more, please do let me know, but I was not very good at using it. So those were the 7 products that I currently have in my Graveyard Project pan. And because I have 8, well, that was technically 8, but I talked about one that has been decluttered. So now I have 7. I need to roll 1 new one in. So let's talk about my new roll-in. I have not showed this before, but I hit pan on a product unexpectedly. How did that happen? I know. I was very surprised because usually, you know, you see your pans coming, but this one, Look at that. This is the Sonia Kashuk Eyebrow Duo, and that is a serious pan, right? Like, that's not just a baby pan. I've had pan for, I think, about a week now. I actually emptied this one here. It was a duo, but the other shade was too dark, so I just threw it out. But this shade is perfect for my eyebrows, and I have been using it, I don't know, probably over a year now, but it's the kind of thing where you think you're never gonna hit pan. Like, I find with eyebrow products and eyeshadows, pan is just so rare because you use such a small amount, right? You have such a small surface area. But because this is pretty much the only product that I've been using in my brows, other than, you know, the occasional time when I would use something else, I think that's why this has happened so quickly. Not quickly, but you know, it's felt quick to me. So yeah, I think this is still gonna take a while to finish because, again, it's eyebrows, it takes a while, but I'm really impressed by this, and I'm gonna keep trying to expand the pan after the next little while. I had considered decluttering my other eyebrow products just because I thought this would take like years and years, so why did I need those other ones? But now I'm so glad that I kept them because I will be finishing this probably, I don't know, maybe 4 months from now, something like that. So probably not by the end of this project, but maybe by the end of 2023. And I'm really happy about that. This is a perfect shade for my eyebrows, so I probably will miss it, but I do have other shades that are also perfect. So this came as a surprise, but I'm happy to have stuck it in there at the end. So that is it. Those are all 8 products in my September Graveyard Project Pan. Let me discuss again what I think will be done by next update and what I think will be done by the end of this project. So, okay. As I mentioned, this one, there's barely anything left. Like, if I actually use this, it probably won't take more than 5 uses. So hopefully within the next month, this will be done. So for my next update. And I also really want to have finished this Bite Lippy. I don't think this will be done by next month, but I think probably by the end of this Graveyard Project Pan, so by the beginning of November, I think that I could have this finished. And yeah, honestly, that's about it. I don't have high hopes for the other things. As I mentioned, I will be decluttering this by the end of the year, so this will be out of my collection, but not for my usage, unfortunately. So yeah, let's talk about a book that I have been reading lately. This one I have since taken back to the library, but I'll just show you a picture of the cover. I'm pretty sure I haven't talked about this one before. It is called An Untamed State by Roxane Gay, and this book was terrifying. Let me just read you my quick Goodreads review. I don't know that I've ever read a book that was as hard to get through. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt as if I had been the one who was kidnapped. So basically it is about a woman from Haiti who moves with her family to the US when she's very young. Her dad becomes very successful, and eventually her parents move back to Haiti. She marries an American, like a white man, but they take frequent trips back to her parents. And one time when she is visiting them, she is kidnapped. And apparently, according to this book, at least, Roxane Gay, her family is from Haiti. This happens fairly frequently to wealthy individuals because, you know, kidnappers know that their family will pay whatever the ransom is. And there's a lot of issues in the country. Poverty is the main one, which, you know, is in part because of the French Empire. I'm not that familiar with the history of Haiti, but this was a really interesting book, so well written that you feel as if you are the main character. Very, very difficult to get through because of what she goes through, because of what happens to her. But I thought the author, she's just such a good writer. I couldn't stop reading it even though I kind of wanted to, and this got 5 stars from me. So highly recommend if that sounds like something you'd be able to get through. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you are having a good fall and that your Graveyard Project pans are going well if you are on one. Let me know if there's any videos you would like to see from me. I will have a lot of pan related videos over the next little while. I'm definitely going to do an update on my 2023 plan to pan project because I haven't done that in a very long time and I feel like I've made a lot of progress. But yeah, thanks for watching and I will talk to you next week. Bye!